And we're back for episode 8.
Wow, 8 episodes. That's incredible.
I think you say wow every single time.
I do. And then it's funny, the more people that I don't know that I run into, I tell them about the podcast and they can't wait to listen to it.
I'm so glad that we're still doing this. And hi, if you're new here, I'm Katie McCabe.
I'm Stephen McCabe.
And you're listening to Just Diagnosed. So, welcome back, everyone. We did not have an episode last week. I didn't even post on the Instagram like I thought I was going to. But my dad and my mom traveled to the great state of Texas.
Houston, Texas, to be exact.
Where Drake lives, or likes.
Is that where he lives?
He really enjoys the exotic dancers there.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm not a Houston fan.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Well, we'll get into that.
We thought Florida was flat. Oh, my gosh.
Really? Is it that different?
I think Houston's flat, too, even flatter.
I've been to Austin, Texas, and actually really liked that. So I was curious how you'd like Houston.
Yeah, I'm okay if I don't have to go back.
That's good. Well, today we're going to talk about my dad's big travels, some pivots that we're doing, and an unexpected new beginning of something new that he's going to go through. So,
oh, it is new.
It is new. So we hope that you enjoy our episode and learn something new, relate to us and anything you have. And yeah, we're excited to share this one with you.
Yeah, let's get it rolling.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you take it off. Because this is your first time flying on a plane since you were diagnosed with cancer.
Oh yeah, it was actually, and we actually flew with different airlines. Usually we're Delta fans.
Oh, Delta through and through, same.
Delta through and through. And this time we flew United because we wanted a direct flight, which was so much easier. Every time we fly Delta, if it's not a direct flight, you got to go through Atlanta. And you know what? I think I might want to get that connecting flight through Atlanta.
Really? That's so interesting because I have a trip coming up in September and I have to fly United and because I wanted the nonstop flight and I'm nervous. Like I haven't flown anything else.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not bad. On the way there, we had an older plane. On the way back, we had a newer plane. Their boarding process was kind of crazy on who they let on first and everything else, which was a little bit different. But, you know, everybody has their own rules.
Yeah, and I guess everyone has their own favorite flights and stuff that they use.
Yes, and Tampa is pretty hot for United because, just to give you an example, so people that fly over 100,000 miles, they let them on the board first. Even before people, you know, that we saw that were in first class,
yeah, they
let all those people on first. There was like 40 of them.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So that's like Delta million milers, but like there's usually only like 2 on our
flights.
Yeah,
there's a few of them,
yeah.
But yeah, not that many. That was just, on the way back there was none.
Oh, that's crazy.
But definitely on the way to Houston, it was crazy how many people they let board first before everybody else.
Well, they have a lot of nonstop flights out of Tampa to places on United, which is wild. So,
yeah.
Well, how was your time flying?
Flying was good. We really thought we were going to have a meal on the plane, but there was no meal on the plane. There or back, it was just snacks and stuff like that.
Ugh.
Yeah, well,
I like a meal.
Yeah, what can you do there? And then for those of you who don't know, I'm about 6'5".
Oh yeah, you have to have the extended seat.
You know, tall. I like the extended seats. And one thing I did learn on flying again, and was to let it go.
Yeah.
You know, I might have shared this before, but so when you're flying and there's people that sit in front of you,
sure,
you know, you're always sitting there, and in your mind you're like, oh man, I hope they don't put their seat back.
Please don't
put your seat back. You know, and they do.
Of
you
course,
can't do
they
anything
have every
about
right to do it.
Every right to do it. And me, I never put my seat back because I don't want that person behind me. I don't know why I do that, but I'm like, try to be kind to them. Let them have a little bit more room, you know, which is crazy.
It's just who you are. I don't know. Some people do.
It's in my DNA. So anyway, just on the way back, we're flying back and we, how they come around and say, everybody please put your seat back up in the right position and everything, right when we're getting ready to land. So I don't mean to go on a tangent on this, but when we land, we had to wait. They said, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be a couple minutes. We just have to wait for this other plane to get out of there so we can pull in. It might be about 5 or 6 minutes. And I was like, okay, no big deal. The guy in front of me decides to put his seat back.
Oh my gosh.
He couldn't wait 5 minutes. Now, the old me, and this could be part of my stand-up routine. The old me, and this is, I'm being honest, and I probably gotta say I'm sorry to all the people I flew that I might have done this to. But the old me would be moving my knees into the back of that chair nonstop. I mean, nonstop moving. Then I'd be grabbing the head of the seat just to pull it down. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Because I'm a tall guy and there's no leg room for me.
Of course.
And yeah, so you know what I did? I said, he just flew back from Andy Anderson. Let it go.
Yeah.
Don't get yourself in a tether over this guy for 5 minutes putting his seat back.
Mm-hmm. After he was told not to.
After he was told not to.
Crazy people out there.
So I didn't mean to share that story. It's kind of like the story of, people that drive in the left-hand lane that drive so slow that tick me off.
Yeah, because you go 100 miles an hour in the left-hand lane, although not these days.
Not these days. But, it's like, why drive? I don't know. Just little pet peeves of mine. One of mine is definitely the seat going back on an airplane. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
I think you're allowed to go off on tangents. I think our audience is getting to know you and, what it's like to be in your shoes right now. And I think it's really interesting that, it gave you pause that you would normally do that. And then this time you didn't. You did. I didn't,
because normally, like I said, my knee would be kneeing that chair up and down until they moved it forward.
That's funny. Well, it does. It changes. This all changes your, your outlook on life and how you do this. So, talk to me about the plane. Did you take a scooter or like a little cart to the plane?
Well, your mom kept asking me.
We were on a plane together, and you were offered the cart. We would be taking it.
Yeah. Do you want me to get you a wheelchair? Do you want me to we can get your service? I was like, no, because when you do that, excuse me, out of a little bit of breath. When you do that, you then have to wait.
True.
For the wheel. You're the last one off the plane.
Yeah.
Screw that. I want to be one of the first people off the plane or as soon as possible.
I do get that.
So, and, I haven't been on any meds for a little bit over a month now.
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit better.
No, you look great.
A little more pep in my step. And, it wasn't that bad.
It is.
It wasn't that bad. It was good.
Good. Well, and then take off everything. Nothing made you nauseous or anything weird?
No. Ate really well on the trip. I tried to eat, I really am very conscious on the stuff that I'm eating now to make sure, it's not processed. It's organic, and I'm sure a lot of people I know that are listening to this, even back in New York, are like, oh, he's gone organic. But I hate to say it.
You have to.
You have to, because you got to think about everything that goes through your liver. And I'll share something after the whole MD Anderson thing
section,
about the food thing. So
let's go back towards MD Anderson and, your hopes versus your reality. So looking back before you went there, what we had kind of talked about on the last podcast, what you had hoped you were going to get. And then we had talked about like what you're going to be disappointed if you get all the way there and they don't give you shit.
Right.
Kind of touch on that. What realistically did you think was going to happen?
I mean, realistically, I thought everybody. I even have people DMing me, oh my gosh, you're going to MD Anderson? That is great. We had people that go there and they've had so much success.
Yeah.
So I was really hoping for success.
Yeah, something.
I was hoping for something to come about and, to make a difference. Because I'm at the point now where that's all I have.
Yeah. And what did they say?
Well, first of all, I had to go through all the process again on running blood. I literally had a CAT scan 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Not 6 days ago, but
6 days before your trip.
Before my trip. And I get there, and then they wanted to run another CAT scan.
It's crazy.
Which, to me is crazy because it just feels like such a money grab.
It does.
And then did some other testing, and then we met with the doctor. Mm-hmm. And... from there, we had a follow-up visit this past week, a Zoom call, because we're not going to travel back and forth to MD Anderson. Sure. That's just not in the budget.
No.
So, but it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Even from the moment that we pulled up to MD Anderson, mm-hmm. You don't realize how big they are.
I have no idea. I
thought Moffitt was big.
Yeah.
MD Anderson is huge.
Really?
when we pulled up, it was like Disney World.
That's crazy.
With how many cars and people in line just to get in the door. It was just wild.
I'm looking up a picture. I got to see now.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have pictures online.
No, this is gigantic.
I mean, they have
multiple giant buildings.
Multiple. And then they wanted to set us up for a CAT scan on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so we said, no, can we do, where else can we go to, can you squeeze us in by any chance? So they made us drive 45 minutes to another whole location where MD Anderson is out of.
Wow.
To get the CAT scan.
This is huge. It spans multiple city blocks. It literally is like Disney World.
It is like Disney World.
That is crazy. Yeah. You go all the way down.
Just wild. It was just really, really wild to me.
That is.
And what's really wild is how many people are going there.
Yeah.
How many people, because they are known, their sign says MD Anderson, cancer, and I think it was like center.
Mm-hmm.
But in cancer, they have the red line going through it is in their logo. So like wiping cancer out.
Right.
But it goes to show you how many people are actually going there to be treated for some sort of cancer.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking, dermatologist, basal cell, any of that. I'm talking real, cancer that,
takes chemo and all this shit.
Takes chemo, whatever,
Damn.
Yeah, just wild.
It is crazy to me, and I think we've touched on this before, like the amount of people that we know now that are affected or know someone who's affected by cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, I didn't know many or anyone who was, and now I could name 10.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the weirdest thing to me. I mean, we'll touch more on that in the food section. And my conspiracy theories there.
I got some too.
Yeah. But, okay, so crazy campus. It was gigantic. It looked like Disney World. How were the doctors?
Doctor was really nice.
That's good.
It was a team. It was him, and then like 3 other people that we had a meeting with, and really nice. And he said to one of the things I like what they did. I liked, but I didn't like it because I didn't like the answer. But they were like, "Do you want the big overview of everything? The top? What do they call that?
The big picture.
The big picture. Yeah. Do you want the big picture of everything?
Yeah."
And Chris and I both looked at each other and were like, "Yeah, why would we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to know the big picture."
Yeah.
So it was tough when he told us the big picture.
We can get there. So let's talk about what they offered you.
They didn't offer me much.
I know.
No offense.
No offense.
No offense to MD Anderson. But they did offer, what they offered me is a drug
reintroduced.
So first line of defense for liver cancer is immunotherapy A and B, which I didn't work. It doubled my tumors in size. Next thing, the second line of defense, which Moffitt offered, but the doctor at Moffitt was like, let me keep this drug in my back pocket. It's been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can get you into some trials or something else first. And so at MD Anderson, the doctor there said, let's do Lenvima.
Yeah.
And everybody can look it up. It's been around for about 10 years. It helps stop the growth of the tumors.
It buys more time.
Buys you more time is pretty much what it does. It has less than 10% rate of actually shrinking the tumors. As some people shrink, but it's less than 10%.
Yeah.
And, they said the studies have shown that there's people that live for 2 years, 5 years, and if you're one of the lucky ones, you could just be on it your whole life. Right,
yeah. There's people in our primary cancer support group that literally have been on it for 8-9 years.
Yeah. There's no guarantee, though. He goes, cannot guarantee any of these things, but that is what.
And there's side effects, with everything.
Yeah, there's side effects
Some are bad.
That come with it.
Yeah. So they reintroduced that, but they didn't have any trials available that you qualified for.
Yeah. You know what? It was funny. We were expecting how big they are.
Right.
That I'd be able to go into a trial there.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of played it off like, I'll let you get with our trial team. But he had my blood work.
Right.
So I think they knew beforehand that I'm not the ideal candidate, because he did talk about a trial that they have.
Yeah.
But he says, I really want you to be on Lenvima for about 3 to 4 months.
Really?
And then we'll revisit that trial.
Wow.
So to me, that sounds like I got to get my numbers down.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what that sounds like.
It doesn't sound like, and when you get to the big picture, it's, what do you do?
Yeah. What do you do? Well, what did that feel like? I mean, finding that different opinion.
So the funny thing is we talked to family.
Yeah.
Talked to everybody.
Yeah. I remember Aunt Rachel and Uncle Joe
Yeah,
were calling you.
They researched the crap out of the
Thank you
drug.
guys. Yeah.
Yep. And we were like, you know what? If I can get 2 more years on Lenvima, let's just do it, and just figure it out from there and then see if there's any trials that I can get on while I'm on Lenvima.
Well, that's the last I heard. And you want to know what I found out on Tuesday?
What was that?
Scrolling on Facebook.
What?
My dad wasn't going to do Lenvima anymore.
I didn't even do Lenvima at all to begin with.
I know, but you were saying my last update was that you were going to do it.
Oh.
I'm scrolling on Facebook and I'm like, oh yeah, my dad's going to do Lenvima. Like, all good. This is what I know. And then we're in our support group and I'm scrolling.
Oh, no.
And there's a comment from my dad saying on someone's post.
Oh, because they had the same kind of thing I have.
Exact
same cancer
thing,
I have.
Exact same one, same timeline, same shit. And my dad comments, I was going to do Lenvima, but now I'm going to do a trial at Moffitt. And I'm like, what?
I know. We didn't tell you guys yet.
No, I know. And
I know.
so,
We were waiting to get home to come tell everybody.
I know. And then Mom called me later and I was like, I already know. Honestly, that was so you. Such a me way to find out from you. Like, that was just so funny.
Yeah, I didn't think you really followed that that
They're
closely.
in the top of my feed, like, I guess. It was just so funny. I was like, of course, I will be the first one to know about this.
That is hilarious.
It made me crack up. Okay, so MD Anderson didn't offer much. You guys came home kind of defeated, kind of annoyed.
Well, let's go back to MD Anderson.
Yeah, go
really
ahead.
quickly.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the big picture.
Yeah. Oh,
we didn't talk about the big picture.
So I actually do have that, but let's skip ahead to that. So let's talk about the big picture.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting this up here. Do you want to talk about, the big picture and specifics of what they told you?
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know.
I thought so too, but I don't know.
It's funny. Me and Mommy didn't even know.
I did, and I Googled, and
yeah, we didn't Google.
I know you didn't Google, and I think that's important for you to tell people, like, don't Google these things if you don't want to effing know.
If you don't want to know, but you got to know.
I mean,
it really helps you make better decisions.
It does.
And I'm not going to look at you right now.
No, I can't.
So I'm going to look straight ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to leave you this time to talk, and I'm not going to look either.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, the doctor was really great. And he asked again if we wanted to do the big picture, big overview of how things are really going to happen. And the first thing he said, he goes, at the rate that your tumors are growing, you got about 7 to 10 months. If you don't do anything to try to help it, shrink it, stop it, in 7 to 10 months, you won't be here. That hit home.
Yeah.
I mean, it really hit home. And, I was expecting it, but not expecting it. I didn't, I thought maybe a year, but then when he was like at 7 months, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it was, and then he said, there's trials out there. And that's when he went into the whole thing about Lenvima, saying, hey, why don't we do that for at least 3 or 4 months to see if we can just slow it down and see how it's working for you.
Yeah.
And so, but it was good. I appreciate it. No, none of the other doctors said anything to us about that.
When Mom said that, that's not really how they do it these days. It was kind of shocking to me that, to hear that, because I feel like that would probably be one of the first things that I want to know.
Oh yeah. And then while I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, 7 months, I'm like, man, I wonder what's going to start going first. When I start feeling a certain thing, I'm either like, oh shit, it's coming.
Yeah,
but it's real life.
It is real life.
And I was at Moffitt today.
Yeah.
Even MD Anderson. There are people worse off than me. There really are right now. And there's young people, old people, and it's just really, really sad.
It is sad.
It is. But, for our family, our friends, you guys are sad for me.
Selfishly, I'm really sad. I can't even stop crying at this point. I mean.
Yeah, but Okay, so let me. I'm gonna change the whole topic
Go
altogether.
ahead.
Okay, so since you know, I was a youth leader
Yeah.
when we were growing up.
Yep.
Went to Catholic school, then we were Methodist, but I never really truly read the Bible.
Yeah.
So I started listening to it, which was very, very interesting. And really, because listening into it, just someone, it's word for word, and it made a difference for me, And then I was in a group chat with Uncle Michael and Kathy and Uncle Richie, and I'm like, hey, have any of you guys watched the show The Chosen?
Right. You're trying to get me to watch that right now.
I'm trying to get you to watch that right now. So it is a series. I think it's 6 seasons long.
Yeah.
OMG. It hits home.
Yeah.
If you have cancer, no matter what you believe in, I don't care. But to me, it's a very feel-good story. It's about Jesus. The whole premise is about Jesus.
I saw some behind the scenes on TikTok of how he walked on water and how they filmed it. It looked crazy. It's once you said The Chosen around me, I'm now getting TikToks about it. I'm closer to watching it.
Yeah, it is so good. And then what was it? Today's episode, because I really can't do much. It was about one of the people he was healing, and it was about the faith and having hope for the future.
Yeah.
And believing. And he goes, before you came to me, your heart was so true, and you believed. It really hit home. It did. It makes me have hope and believe that, we could do something about this.
I believe we can.
Yeah, but anybody out there, seriously, no matter what your religion is, watch The Chosen. It's really good. Excellent. The story, I had to go back and listen to Matthew all over again because while I was watching Matthew in the show, I had to go back because he was a scribe. I didn't realize he was the scribe for Jesus.
Oh, is each season like a different one of the apostles?
Yeah, he's one of them.
No, like is each season based on one, or is it?
No, they're on all
their
of them.
Own. Okay, they're all over.
They're in all of them. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It starts from the beginning to the.
I wasn't
to
sure
the
if
last
it was doing like chapters.
To like the Last Supper.
That's crazy.
But when I went back to listen, it was like, man, what I watched and what I listened was so cool.
That is cool.
Because it was like right out of the Bible.
It's like what you're watching, right?
Well, yeah, what I was watching. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off a tangent on that.
No,
one.
tangent away. I think it's really cool. I think that you have to find things that bring you joy and bring you center and bring you peace of mind and give you hope. And
yeah, no, I tell everyone to watch it now.
Well, I'm getting closer to watching it now that they're showing me the behind the scenes, like post production stuff. Like that's what's gonna get me there, right?
They also have outtakes on the.
Do they?
They do.
I should watch that. That's funny.
Good. It's pretty good.
Well, I'm getting closer, but so that's it. That's what you got.
Yeah, let's just go big overview. I don't have much time at the rate the tumors are going.
Yeah.
But if we could figure something out, great.
Yeah.
So then let's put another little notch into this whole thing.
Sure.
So before we left for MD Anderson,
right, you get denied from a trial.
We get denied from a trial at Moffitt. That was my one I was so looking forward to getting into.
You really wanted herpes.
I really wanted to inject the herpes into my tumors.
Not say that.
But I got denied from that.
Yeah.
And then I got my numbers down.
Yeah.
But it was too late.
Sure.
It was already filled up and everything.
Yeah.
So they had another trial.
Yep.
And my doctor was the doctor,
he's running the trial, right?
He's running the trial.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, your blood, everything else, we look like you can go into this. So we had to do everything all over again.
Crazy.
All over again. And then I also had to get my eyes checked.
Oh, right.
And that was crazy with the different exams, how they did it with my eyes. Because they want to make sure one of the biggest side effects of this, well, there's a couple big ones, but this one is going to be blurred vision.
Yeah.
So they really want me to, how to get my eyes checked before
Well,
that was the last person that could approve me.
Right, and they have to gauge it, right? Like they have to see how bad it's getting, so you know.
Right. Yeah. And my eyesight's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the dilemma was on the way there.
Yep.
Got officially approved for the trial.
Yeah. So you were going to MD Anderson. Mum's the word about anything
about Moffitt.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes feel like they are competing against each other.
Well, of course they are. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. They want your billions. Like, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate to say, and we're not going to get conspiracy theory here, but it is an industry that is profitable.
Right. Yeah.
It's not profitable.
Yeah. So after leaving there, me and Mommy were so set on doing Lenvima.
I was like, let me buy the shirt. Like, you want me to do a Lenvima commercial? Like, should we add them as ads?
Yeah.
Like, we were ready to go. I was like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
And then I had to tell Moffat, hey, we're so sorry. We're not going to do the trial. We're going to move forward with Lenvima. We like our doctor to still oversee everything because we're not going to fly back and forth to MD Anderson and everything else. And then, what do you know? The doctor called me from Moffitt.
I was going to say, what happened? What changed?
He personally called me.
Yeah.
And, no doctor ever personally called me.
No one ever takes, like, I will say in this journey, and something I've, like, bitched about to my friends on behalf of you is, like, you have to 110% do everything yourself, you and your caregiver. Like, it is on you to get the treatment that you want.
Yes.
If you don't proactively go out there and research and find this stuff, no one's coming in to provide you a list of options.
No
one.
Nobody.
So that is really something if he calls you.
Yeah, no, he called me and he said, hey, first off, if you want, I know with MD Anderson, if you want to continue with them, definitely go for it. No hard feelings. But, we did speak about the Lenvima drug. I still would like to keep that in my back pocket. Mm-hmm. He goes, with this trial, I think that it would be good for you to be on this trial. Yeah,
as much as he can say, right?
Yeah. So he said they've had some good success rate with it. It's in phase 2. So this trial with Moffitt, this drug, I don't remember the name of the drug, but I'll see if I can get it, was really effective on people with bladder cancer.
Right.
So people have bladder cancer, really good.
That's awesome.
Really good. And the drug is, from my understanding, the drug is FDA approved.
Okay, from phase 1?
If
you're phase 2, it's probably not FDA approved yet, but it could be recommended.
Yeah, it was, I might have that wrong. I do apologize, people. But it's in phase 2, and, I'd be one of, I think, 25 people that are going to be testing this drug to see if it'll work on people that are non-operable HCC.
Wow.
Which is what I have.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so after we hung up the phone with him, Chris and I like, shit, what are we going to do? He made some good points.
Yeah.
He made really good points. But the best point he made was that, hey, in 3 months, we'll see if this is doing anything for you.
Yeah.
If it's not, we have Lenvima in our back pocket.
Yeah, you do.
And he said, if MD Anderson would have had a trial for me, they would have had me talking to their trial team right then and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he said, Steve, you've already been denied by one of ours that we tried to get you into, which you were so close to getting in.
Right.
But, everybody wants the ideal candidate. You're the ideal candidate for this trial.
Damn. It's nice to be wanted.
Yeah, it's nice to be wanted with one instead of getting denied. It's kind of like credit.
This is literally...
Get that one credit card.
Yeah, literally. Right, your first one. Wow, you're so... Yeah, well, that is... I mean, I'm really glad he called you. I'm glad he said something. I mean, not knowing the backstory of this is my first time hearing it, right? So it's like, I understand now more. My first initial reaction was like, what the F? Why are you doing this? Why aren't we going with the tried and true? And I'll be honest, like, why aren't we going with the tried and true FDA approved
10 years
one?
Approved drug, right?
Right, that would buy us more time. Why
well,
in the
no
world?
guarantee.
No guarantee, but could buy us more time. Like, what? I was like, what the F is my dad doing? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, this is crazy. Like, like what? But hearing that makes me think... You have to do this.
Well, then call Aunt Rachel.
Of course, you gotta get back up. But like you gotta get me back.
But she really didn't tell us what to do.
Yeah, of course.
She didn't.
But they understand.
She was like, "Oh,
better.
that's a good point. That's a good point." Then I texted my brothers and sisters to see what they would do, and
of course.
I said, and I already had my decision made before I even.
It's your body.
Texted them.
It's your life. You get to choose.
And then one of the biggest things that I thought of was, I'm not the ideal candidate for everything.
No.
But if I can give back to science, this is going to sound really weird.
No, go for it.
If I can give back to science where they can test something on me, because I only got 7 to 11 months, whatever it is left.
Right.
Even if it doesn't work, I'm helping.
Yeah, you are.
To find the right drug that'll help somebody in the future.
God, I'm going to cry again. Shit. And he is an organ donor.
But that is that's what convinced me to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
No, it is.
So, all right. Fast forward.
Just
so we can get you to stop crying.
Really? No, I mean, I think from a child's perspective, like, it is hard to hear that. Like, what if you're told that this is the last year with your freaking dad? And I know it's your life. And these are just real thoughts,
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel bad for the podcast people that have to listen to me like snorting my nose. But you want to know what goes through my head? And like people have reached out and asked how MD Anderson has gone. They did,
Right.
And I don't know what to say because it was probably a very emotional weekend for you. It was an emotional weekend for me. It was just a really emotional weekend.
Yeah. No,
which is why I couldn't post on why we didn't have an episode.
Yeah. No, it was tough, but I don't know. When I started really thinking about it and everything else, and like you said, after 3 months,
yeah,
we'll have CAT scans. We'll see how it's doing.
Yeah.
Everything else, and I might not be eligible for a trial in the future because it could get worse.
It could be. I mean, your comment really put it into perspective for me. So I appreciate you saying that because I'm thinking selfishly, like, you should be doing whatever it is. But like, that really does put it in perspective. And that just speaks to the person that you are. Yeah. I mean, you're you through and through.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
No, but I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. So you did it. So you're here.
As a matter of fact, today was my first.
Today was your first day.
Today was my first day on the trial. It was pretty cool.
He is a trial patient, guys.
I am a number now.
He is a number officially. It's not with herpes, but it is with something else.
Yep, that is true. This is just a drug that they put in a drip.
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
But you go every week?
Yeah, every week.
Every week. Okay.
Every week, yeah, 3 weeks.
I got it now. Okay, 3 weeks of going in a row and then 1 week break.
Yeah, 1 week break. And then when I go back onto the next 3 weeks, so always the first week of every 3 weeks, we'll meet with we won't meet with the doctor unless we have to, but there'll be his
physician's assistant team.
There you go. Yeah. There was like 3 of them that we met with today.
It's good.
And they keep him in the loop. So it was exciting.
That is
good. And after, they're going to increase the dose as we go along. It'll actually get higher. They kept me an hour after just to see if I had any, was going to have any issues.
Immediate reactions.
Reactions, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
But there, there's some scary things on this trial that, can happen.
So blurry vision, but what else? Is it seizures or anything crazy?
No, blurry vision's one of them. Next one's going to be like, it's funny. My blood pressure when I went to this morning, it was like 110/75.
I feel like that's good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's good.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good.
Not good for a pregnant woman.
Yeah, it's good. But it's funny. After I, later on, I actually had a dentist appointment. Mm-hmm. Dentist appointment. And now, for some reason, when you go to the dentist, they always check your blood pressure.
Oh, really?
At least mine does.
That's weird.
It was like 145/100.
Oh, really? So high blood pressure.
Yeah, so high blood pressure is one of them. The other thing that they want me to watch out for is I'm a type 2 diabetic. They said is high blood sugars.
Oh, really? With this?
Yep,
yeah.
That's another side effect.
So you're going real clean eats.
Yep. And then they said the biggest one that if I do get, and they said 1 out of 5 gets it, are like you see all the marks, my purple spots all over my body, from the signs of liver cancer and from the itching and all of that stuff. But they said rashes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they said they're like burning rashes.
Oh, shit.
And they said if you really get them and they're really bad, I got to call right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I'm trying to think what else. I got the paperwork here. Let me see if there's
Yeah.
anything else that was
Does that
really.
have the name of it on there or no?
No.
I've searched up like 5 clinical trials. It could be, but I don't actually.
Yeah, it could be. I'll try to get that for the next time, just to
Yeah.
keep everybody
Just-
on the edge, so they'll come back and listen to episode 9.
Yeah, come on. We're almost to end of season 1.
Let's see. Yeah, the high blood pressure. Yeah, all those things. And the usual suspects of it. But those are the big things in the blurred vision.
Well, we'll get to bring back Steve's side effect of the week.
Oh, that's right. We will. But they said some people do really well on it, and they really
I'm
don't get
praying you
many
do.
side effects.
I'm praying that you do. You know?
I hope. And recently, since I've been off everything for a little bit more than a month now, my shortness of breath, I still have it.
Yeah, but you definitely sound better.
But I said, yeah, it's better. It's better. The fatigue is better. But they said that, fatigue is definitely going to be on this drug.
Damn. We were doing so well.
Doing so well. That's
I mean, not amazing, but we were doing better.
Yeah, but that's another side effect.
Dang, that sucks.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Yep, I'm excited.
I'm excited that you're a number, and we'll keep everyone updated on your clinical trial journey.
Yeah, and like I says, people go out there. You got to fight. For those of you that have cancer, you got to fight for yourself.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. This is gonna be part of my routine every week now. For all you family members, mom, dads, or people that have cancer, tell your kids to listen to this because they need to hug you every day.
They need to know how to take care of you, but they really need to freaking hug you every day.
Yeah, just go hug your mom, even if your mom's not sick. Give your mom a hug. Give your dad a hug. Text them every day. Hey, love you. It doesn't have to be every day, but if you're like me, where you're on a time limit, you might want to do it every day. But if not, just communicate with your family.
Yeah.
Appreciate them, because if you don't, life turns upside down on a drop of a dime.
No, forgive those grudges. They're not worth it.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Well, we have quite a few listener questions, so I want to do those. But first, let's talk about a couple updates with you. What's bringing you joy lately?
What is bringing me joy lately? Watching the series The Chosen.
Yeah.
It is really, really good. I mean, I feel good when I watch it. I mean, it brings me joy. It really does.
I'm glad. Let's talk about your diet. How has that changed since being diagnosed?
Okay, I'm glad we're back to this. So, the first thing they tell you to do once you have liver cancer is change your diet.
True.
And people out there, if you do not have liver cancer, change your diet.
Yeah, don't get liver cancer.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, my sister-in-law has been preaching it for years. Don't eat processed foods. She even gave me a cookbook that someone that she had that had cancer that is now cancer-free. And it has all the things in there of the dirty 6, the 6 that you should be eating of different kinds of foods and everything. And you really got to eat clean. And I know it costs a little bit more money.
Sure.
You got to go organic.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm.
Organic. And then also pretty much got to cut out the red meat. We eat a lot of fish now. But the biggest thing with the fish is you have to eat wild fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like when you go get salmon.
Yeah.
We love salmon. And farm raised is not good for you.
Really?
Yep. Farm raised is not good for you because of what they're doing. But the wild caught salmon is really good for you. So anything wild that you can eat, go for it.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And you got to wonder, like, when I went to MD Anderson and saw all these people going there, with I'm just shocked how many people cancel. Today at Moffitt, it was packed.
It's packed. I mean, it's huge. I mean, you have to imagine.
You got to wonder if all this processed food, I mean, I hate that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the crazy thing is now that I'm eating healthier, I've dropped weight. My numbers have come down.
Yep.
I mean, it is just wild. And I'm not going to, tell everybody, yeah, you got to do it. But, yeah, stay away from, those processed foods, those, sorry, Subway, sorry for all you food chains. But, you got to give them up. I don't think I crave Subway sandwiches. There's a lot of things I crave. Just don't go there anymore.
No, you can't. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, I shop a lot at Aldi. They've completely banned red dye, blue 40 or whatever, like red 40, blue number 9 or whatever, all of those additives. And I think that that's important. I think that they're proven to be bad for you. They're not good for your health. So that's why we shop there, because they're not in your food. But there has to be something that they're putting in, what is it? Stuff over that's like sprinkled. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Insecticides that are getting into your food. Yes. Like that I'm not even conspiracy theorist.
Just think about all the vegetables that you
That's
eat.
what I think. Yeah, I'm like, and I know the farmers and everyone else will say that it's all fine, but there's a small part of me that's like, okay, I can't spray stuff on my grass and then let my kids play on it. Yeah, I can eat it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And if, then there's going to be people like that. Well, why doesn't everybody have cancer?
At this point, I'm pretty sure everyone does. Like, that's what I would say to you guys.
I think we all have it. It just hasn't, come out. But yeah, I just, in general, eat clean.
Yeah.
Really, eat as clean as possible. Try to give up the soda, give up the alcohol. The cleaner you can eat.
That's going to be hard.
The healthier you're really going to be.
Yeah. I mean, do what you can too. Like, I've been subbing out my milk. My milk is now organic because that's an easy thing for me. Like, I know that I cannot get my child to stop eating McDonald's chicken nuggets, and that'll get me there.
Yeah, but you got to get her to stop eating chicken nuggets.
I'm working on it. Tonight she ate a chicken enchilada. Like, that was shocking. So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stop the fast food. Do it while they're young.
Yep, working on it. Well, what's a fun snack that you're eating while you're being healthy? Like, if you're craving a snack and you can't have, like, Gushers, what would you have?
Fun snack. What am I? I'm now eating like every 2 to 3 hours, and I'm trying to eat a lot of protein and stuff like that. Fun snack. Damn.
I don't know, just something that maybe the listeners can make at home, like a granola ball. We'll come back to this next week.
Yeah,
prepare a fun snack. Maybe that can be some homework for you.
Yeah.
You like to cook. Like, what's a fun, healthy, organic thing that you can prepare this week? Take a picture. We'll put it on the cover photo next week.
All right, there we go. Yeah, because I'm just trying to think snack-wise. So the latest thing I've been making that I've been loving is guacamole.
Oh, yeah.
That
was really good.
Making your own guacamole is so much better than I never really liked guacamole.
Sure.
I like it now. And the way I make it, I love the way I make it.
It was perfect. I mean, slightly too many tomatoes, but you took that out of my section.
I took that out of your section.
It was amazing. Some of the best guac I've ever had.
Yeah, I eat that quite often now.
I think it's a great snack.
Yeah, that is a snack.
Now, this is a question, I know you're not supposed to carbo load or whatever, but if you got corn tortillas, like real, corn tortillas, cut them up and then threw them in the air fryer, could you eat chips like that?
I probably can, but I probably won't.
Okay. I'd be curious. I mean,
I've been sticking to vegetables, dipping in the guacamole.
That works great.
Hummus.
Yeah.
Sticking that in the hummus. But no, I'm not, I love Fritos.
Yeah, same.
Fritos. And then at Trader Joe's, they have this corn salsa that's amazing.
Yeah.
I remember end of last year, I could polish off a whole bag of Fritos and that whole jar of corn salsa in like one sitting.
Isn't it crazy how?
Or with that sorry, that French onion dip. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, that's really good. Hell of a good French onion dip. I brought that into this house.
Oh my gosh.
That's the worst thing I ever did.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah. So no, those are some things.
Well, good. Well, we'll come ready with your snack next week, and he can share what they are.
Yep.
So I'm going to pull up some listener questions. Obviously, we didn't get to chat last week. And so they're not all questions. Some of them are just like statements and stuff. But I want to read them to you.
Okay, great.
First one is, how are you feeling today?
I feel fabulous. I'm getting, trial day 1, very upbeat. And then also I get to watch Survivor tonight. Mom and I watch Survivor after this.
Good for you. And again, these are all anonymous, so I have literally no idea who sent these in. But actually, this person did name themselves. Hey, Katie, just tell Steven it's Robbie. I hope you remember me from his childhood. You all came, and I mean your whole family visited us in Levittown back in like 2014 or so. If you remember, first of all, I want to apologize for the scar on your dad's lip that I accidentally.
I know
This is the most run-on sentence I've ever seen that I've accidentally inflicted on him by me in a hockey game in the snow in Elmont. But it was a great game. My brother Ray was best friends with Steven's older brother Richie, and I was best friends with Mikey and spent an enormous amount of time with Steven, who I thought of as my little brother, as I didn't have one of my own.
Wow.
Also, one of the best times I had was at Aunt Ann and Uncle Richie's house parties. Asked Steven about his beloved dog Ringo and him and the number of times he told me Ringo went pops in the basement. Or is it poop in the basement? Inside joke. And Katie, yes, your dad really was a good kid growing up. And yes, as he said, it's a miracle how different he was from all of us doing bad things. Why? He said something else. Though I must say that I saw way too much of your. Oh, okay, we're moving on.
I'm just. I'm floored, and I'm so amazed that I know who you're talking about.
You do?
I mean, that means so much that he actually went out of his way to
multiple paragraphs
write all of that.
Isn't that really nice?
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I still got that scar from the hockey stick when the blade broke. I think the blade broke and it went right into my face and they had to rush me to the emergency room. I had to get stitches and stuff. But that was when they used to screw on plastic blades to the sticks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, good. I will let you read the whole thing afterwards.
Wow.
It's very sweet. So.
Hey, Robbie, if you're listening to this, man, that is incredible. Thank you so much. You just brightened my day.
Good.
I haven't spoken to you in years, and I know you're best friends with my brother Michael growing up, but wow. Just wow.
That's good.
Yep.
This is a really nice one about me. I won't read the whole thing, but it says, you were one of my best students and anchors from O-Town Live. You have truly found your calling here doing podcasts. You have such a gift. You're a great anchor, editor, and producer. I have laughed with you and cried with you along with this journey. Your parents have always been so supportive of you and your brothers. Your dad's journey is a tough one, but I feel in my heart that all of your strength, courage, and determination will get you through this. Thank you for all you are doing and sharing this journey, Debbie Ryan. Miss Ryan was my TV production teacher. Do you remember her?
I do remember her.
Yeah, she's so lovely.
Wow, that's amazing.
She's posted about our podcast, which means so much. So
yeah, thank you. Thank you for those comments.
Another one we have. I went to high school with Steve and have been friends with him on social media for years. I was deeply saddened to hear about his diagnosis and pray that you can get into a trial that will be successful for you. I admire his strength and Katie's strength in doing this podcast. I love the open relationship you both have, and I know you are both making a difference in this world. My question is, have you gone for any genetic testing? Would doing that help your children and grandchildren?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we discussed this, but I did go for genetic testing.
Yeah.
And this way we could share with everybody. There were no signs of cancer or anything.
No markers.
No markers for cancer in the genetic testing. The only marker there was it's called SOFU, SOFU, but it was like 0.028. But what that actually is skin cancer.
Right.
Which, you know.
Everyone's pretty much at this
Yeah,
point.
everyone has that. And you know how many, I got a free facelift from all the surgeries I had on my face.
They've literally cut off a whole part of his face. Yeah. So not genetic.
And the funny thing is I got it on one side of my face and the other side. So it was pretty even.
Yeah, there you go. People pay big money for that.
Yeah. And I just remember it was like 32 stitches.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was nasty looking.
It was gross.
It was, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that comment, the lovely things you said, but no, not genetic. Thank goodness. So another one. Okay, you would think I wrote this one in. Please tell us about the failed business venture about being pen pals with criminals. Okay, we're not going back in on that.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go back in on that one. It was truly a social media thing with a different spin, and it just went the wrong way.
So this one also asked about genetics, family health history. So we kind of just touched on that. But someone said, this is really kind, as someone who is currently engaged to be married, your marriage is such a testament to sticking together in sickness and health. What is one piece of advice you have about marriage, and what is one of your favorite memories with your wife? Sending you and your family love and prayers.
Oh, wow. There's just so many memories to choose from. I don't think I could pick one that was like the best or
we'll go with the advice then.
With the advice?
She's engaged, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
Communication. I mean, make sure you communicate. And as a guy, as one thing that I learned, don't be passive aggressive. It took me a few years, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know these things. Don't be that way, and just communication is key.
Anything you could say in going through the tough times, like that you look back on in your early days of marriage, just like advice for how you built such a solid foundation.
Hmm.
Obviously communication, but
Right.
like doing things for each other, or like, just how did you keep it?
Well, I think it's a whole bunch of things. It's just not
Sure.
one thing.
No.
I think it's going to church, being
Mm-hmm.
part of the youth group, being involved in the community, doing different things like that. I just think it's not just one thing you could just name,
Yeah,
but your mom and I have faith and we believe in all those things, and that makes a difference.
that's good.
And if both of you have two different viewpoints on major stuff,
Yeah, how to
that
raise kids.
yeah, how to raise kids, or anything, even like in the relationship with growing up with all you guys, we had 4 kids under the age of 4. That's crazy. And
No,
that's with twins.
unheard of.
Unheard of. Well, that's heard of, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's still pretty crazy.
but you know what? I was there for mom.
Yeah.
I mean, we did everything 50-50.
Yeah.
And I even asked mom, we would, even while we were talking, we were like, and this is recently, I said, hey, when we were doing anything, did you feel I gave you enough back in the day? And she's like, Stephen, you were amazing. You were the person that could change 3 diapers of 3 kids in a row in a matter of about a minute.
That's crazy.
And she says, no, you were 50-50 with me. We did everything. And, it makes a difference.
Good. Well, I asked for expanding on that because everyone says that their advice is communication and then it doesn't tell us anything. So
No, it
I think
doesn't.
that's good. I appreciate you
But like I
explaining.
said, it's other things.
It is. It's the other things.
Like I just said it, but
Yeah.
going to church
Yep.
together and do it's a whole bunch of stuff.
I think you got it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, this one's crazy. Your dad is one awesome guy. We have worked together for many years. One thing I will never forget though is him bringing me a pizza to my house. It was the day he told me he was leaving to go to a walk-in clinic to get checked because he thought he had pulled a muscle. I will never forget him calling me with what they had found. Steve, just know that I value our friendship and thank you for always being so kind to my family. Keep fighting, my friend. Love, Nick.
Oh yeah. Oh Nick. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nick, I hear you, buddy. And yeah, thank you, Nick. I appreciate those kind words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just thinking back on that day and like how crazy that was.
Yeah, just crazy. And he's been through a lot himself.
Yeah.
Just the work we do together,
Yeah.
with special needs and all those different things. And he's amazing. I mean, he does a lot of good for the community.
Good.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Steve, I am so impressed with your strength and your forthrightness in what you and your family are going through. Speaking on behalf of what I'm sure is many of your caring friends, is there anything we can do for you as individuals, as a group, or as a group to support you and your family during your journey? Love you, man. Kamish Duster. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Hey, Dustin, if you're listening, I know it's you, buddy.
Oh,
Dustin texted me today. He wanted to take me to lunch.
oh, that's so sweet.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If it help, I got the right person. I'm pretty sure, pretty sure I do. Um,
But speaking to all your friends, is there
right.
anything anyone can do? I mean,
No.
or for anyone going through, and if, or you can even speak on behalf of anyone going through cancer. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if anyo's going through it, shoot him a text.
yeah,
You know.
that really works for you.
Yeah, or anything. I had another friend had a family member that found out they had cancer.
Yeah,
Different kind, but pretty much healable. I went out of my way just to send a little something, just to
Yeah.
say, hey, thinking of you guys. Hope you heal well. Because it's tough when, you it brightens your day.
it does. Yeah,
And then what for Easter? Who was it? Oh, the Corey family.
yeah,
They sent us a whole bunch of healthy snacks and stuff.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and I'm not asking anybody to do that.
No,
really not.
But it's nice to be thought of.
It was thought of
in the midst of all this BS.
Mary Jo and Renee.
Yeah.
They put a whole basket together of healthy snacks so we can have stuff on the plane.
That's so kind.
They must have had a premonition that we weren't going to get food on that plane.
Right. They must have known.
They must have flew United before.
That's funny.
You know?
That was our episode. That was a lot of questions, but I did want to get to last week's and this week's. So thank you guys all so much for sending those in. I know it was a lot, but we appreciate it.
I really love the comments on the notes.
Yeah.
On the questions.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
I don't care if someone doesn't, have a question.
No, just send us a comment. Yeah.
A memory from back in the day. That was great.
So that's what you can do for my dad is go to I always do the www. Go to justdiagnosedpodcast.com and submit him a comment or a question or a memory. We would love to hear from you. That would mean the world. So I'll just go ahead and wrap us up. So some things that we learned this week were that it's okay to pivot.
Yep.
It's okay to hope,
Hope.
And it's okay to laugh through the chaos, as we literally went from laughing to crying to laughing to sobbing to laughing again this episode.
Oh, can I share something really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
So today I was at the dentist and, because I was having a little problem with my jaw, and I'm sure everybody knows that, I got implants. I don't care.
Yeah, he has veneer implants.
I don't care if anybody knows, but my teeth were rotted and I had
to
had to do something about that. They weren't rotted, but they just weren't good from the braces and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went in there and I shared the story with the doctor, because we got to know.
Well,
the
yeah,
dentist,
you have to pay your medical stuff.
Yeah,
what if you pass that on the table?
Yeah, a long time. And then we just started talking about the podcast. He's like, "Oh man, I got to really search that." He goes, "What do you guys talk about?" And I said, "Dark humor." He goes, "What do you mean by dark humor?" And I said, "Well, it was one time when my daughter and I had to go into the hospital, and we decided to put a funeral playlist together of all the songs I want played when I die." And he's like, "Oh my God." And then everybody in there, they were like, because then the word got around.
Of course.
They're like, "We got to listen to your podcast."
Okay, we obviously need to share the link to our playlist.
That's a great idea.
We should.
We should.
I'll add it to the link in our bio.
Okay, and there's one other thing I do want to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
For future episodes, don't know how we're going to do it.
Sure.
Maybe we need to create a Facebook. I don't know what it is. But I do want to share my blood work.
Yeah.
So people can see my numbers.
We can put it on the website.
Okay, yeah. So we could put that up there. Just so if anybody else has cancer and they're starting to look at these numbers, and, I have no problem. You never know. There might be a doctor from anywhere that happens to listen to our podcast, and then
starting a trial.
Looks on the website, and wow, look at his numbers there. You know what? I think he might be a good candidate.
We can absolutely put it on the website. Let's do it.
Yep. Sorry. All right. Now we got to end.
No, now we can end. Now we can go. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you're still here with us, which I hope you are, share this episode with someone who's navigating uncertainty. So we hope you share our episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like us, leave us 5 stars, and send us a question, as you heard, justdiagnosedpodcast.com. You can follow us on Instagram at justdiagnosedpod and on TikTok at justdiagnosed. That's all for us. I'm Katie.
I'm Steve.
Thanks so much. See you next
time. Thank you all.
Appreciate
you.
Bye.